Here's a review of the long-awaited Terex Superlift 3800 crawler crane. It's made by Conrad. I got it from diecastmodels.co for $996. Being Conrad, it's their typical quality. I must say though that they have stepped up their detail with this model. It may not be a whole lot, but it doesn't take much to improve a model. I'll try and make this review as quick as I can. I know they take up a lot of time. But anyway, the model does roll really smoothly. Try to just a smooth surface. One thing is it's very stiff to turn, or to get started anyway, but once you get it going, it'll turn smoothly. It does turn 360 degrees. The cab does tilt, but it doesn't tilt a whole lot. It's about as far as it goes. The counterweights are all individual, same as other Terex crane models that they have. You get 2 of these winch keys, typical winch keys. The catwalks on right here and on the cab are plastic, but the handrails are metal, and it has etched out metal walkways throughout. The cab interior is pretty plain, just like most crane model cabs. Just got the seat, joysticks, and the monitor. And the cab does turn. But one thing I've noticed with the cab is this back catwalk, it seems to be tilted up too much. I've tried to bend it back down, but it won't stay. So also, I don't know if you can tell, but they have the window trim painted black, which is a nice touch. This walkway is all metal, just one piece. Sorry about my voice. This ladder is metal, just hooks on. Your tracks, this is probably the biggest disappointment with the model, because the track pads are basically the exact same thing as the LR1750 or their CC8800. They're the same exact pads. And those models are like 15 years old now. So, metal frames, spoke sprocket. It does have working rollers underneath, but they're plastic. This piece right here flips up, and so be to assemble your tracks. You hook a chain up to it, and there would be a one on the other side, but there isn't one. It does have lifting lugs casted into the metal, which obviously don't work, but still, it looks good. Ballast tray, or floating tray, whichever one you want to call it, is mostly metal. These pieces right here are plastic. This is all casted one piece, so you can't raise or lower this bar to adjust the height. But these ladders can come off, and they're metal, and these fold down. Or you can fold them down with the ladder on. It doesn't matter. But I would probably glue these on because they tend to pop off real easily. Pretty nice. Personally, I probably would have liked the wagon better than this, because this wouldn't be too hard to make on your own, or a custom model builder to make. I had one made for the LR 1600 that's plastic, pretty much exactly the same thing, and it wasn't too hard for him to make. But I would have preferred the wagon, because with this you have to get the right amount of counterweights on it or take them off. If you have too much on, it'll pull the back mass down and it'll pull your gantry down, and you'll get all that tangled up. So that's the only problem with that. But you can adjust these. This part right here is plastic, but this feels metal. But you can raise and lower these by twisting them. They just spin. I'm assuming they adjust. I've twisted them a lot and they seem to go up and down. Everything bolts together, typical Conrad style with the plastic pins. Your drums are typical Conrad again, just the friction holds them, and they do work really well. But one thing that I've noticed is they don't supply enough string for your gantry or your main boom. This one, to lower your main boom, it probably comes down to probably right here, just a few inches shy of touching the ground. But I've already restrung this with Muskie Master, so this goes all the way down now. I'm not sure if the other drums have enough string to lower the hooks down all the way. It only comes with one hook. But Conrad's releasing it's pretty much the exact same thing. It's the one that comes with it, but it comes with two more of these spreader bar things, the exact same hook, and a big metal piece. It's like this big, that you connect this hook and then the new one, and it'll make one big one, kind of like the 8800 hook. And this is pretty nice because you can split this down to make one sheave cluster and attach the hook, and you can take these cheek weights off. And these weights do have a lot of weight to them, so I'm really happy with this hook. And everything has metal sheaves in it. And this hook is actually metal. It's not like the AC 1000 hooks where these were plastic. So really nice. You just pull these pins out right here. You can take the hook off and split it down. Another thing that I've noticed is, for some reason, they made this front piece, this lattice piece, plastic, and it just clips on in there. I don't know why, but this sheave cluster thing is all metal. Right here is metal, that's metal, but what it clips onto is plastic. So I would be careful putting heavy loads on it, because it might just pull that whole thing off. I'm not sure. Because when I went to pin these on, this flange started to bend. So just be careful with that. All metal boom as usual, and it does come with another sheave cluster for when you add it on the main boom, just like that. It gets 4 pins, pretty much like the 8800 or the LR 1600, and you can add 2 of them on there. A nice new addition is they've added the etched out metal catwalks for the boom sections, and they've added the safety cable to go along it. But these are plastic, and these clips are plastic, and they just clip onto the walkway, and they clip onto the lattice. And they give you wire to run along the boom, but they didn't give me enough, I guess, because I don't have enough to do the jib at all. So, and when you take the boom off or something, you can fold these down. These were a little tricky to get on in here. These use a J-hook type of system. You have to slide it through the catwalk and then try to clip it on to this lattice. Those were a little bit of frustration getting hooked on there. And there are a couple of them that you will have to bend, like this catwalk right here, that little portion right here where it's flat on the boom. You have to bend that to make it lay flat. And right here, you have to bend that one to make it lay on there right. And up here, and then right here where it bends. Not much. The pendants are the typical plastic pendants found on the newer crane models that Conrad makes. I actually don't mind these. These are pretty nice. They're a lot better than the old system. This would be to raise your luffing mast. You would run your cable up through here, this pulley, you run it over and then hook it on right there, and then you pull back on your cable and then it'll raise your mast up instead of using an assist crane. Plastic bridle, metal sheaves. This is to hook the bridle into for transport, and it does work. Nice Terex signboard on it. You got one on your main boom, but I don't know why it's so far down the boom, but whatever. And this section on your main boom is a reducer section, so you can add the 40 and the 20 from the jib and put it on here to make it one long boom. It's not a very tall crane as it is. It's only about maybe 5 feet, a couple inches past. These two drums are for your main hook, and then just go up the back mast, go through those pulleys, down inside the mast, back out them pulleys, and then up your boom through your luffing mast and out to your jib. The hook wasn't really hard to reeve, but when you reeve it through, the string will come out underneath your pulleys, and then you have to run it back inside. So just a tip there. You got a metal handrail here, and you got ballast plates under here. Take them off real quick. Your stabilizers to raise the undercarriage up off the trailer. The jacks really aren't long enough to raise it off completely. Well, it raises it off, but I can't pull the trailer out. The Sword Kenworth T800 flip axle trailer, you have to put some boards under the jacks to raise it up high enough. And you get this little plastic retaining bar that clips on. Typical screw down jacks. You get two counterweights under here on each side. And this just slides in two holes and just sits on the jacks. This is an auxiliary drum to help reeve your mast or run your cable out. This engine compartment cover, I'm thinking, is plastic. I'm not sure. And to reeve your gantry, you use the same style that you do on the LR 1600 or the LR 1750. Just go from one side of the drum, from this side up and over, and come back through, go down and under, and then just go up and over till you get to the middle one. Then you cross the direction and go back the other way till you get to the last sheave, and then you cross the direction again and go back down to the drum. And this little thing back here is for your, these attached to the ballast tray, these hooks. That way you can pull your tray in or out. I just got them pinned back right now to the pendants. I really hope they come out with extensions for this, because it really needs it. It's just too short for me personally. Well, I don't really think it's worth $1,000 as it is. It might be worth $800, pushing $900. It's just not a whole lot of a model that you get for $1,000. If it had more boom sections in it, I could see spending $1,000 on it, but it only has 220s and 240s. So it's not very tall. It's about as tall as the Manitowoc 16,000 when raised straight up. But the best thing going for it is the flexibility. You can set it up in many different configurations. you don't have to use the back mast, or you don't have to use the luffer, which I personally like, and everything breaks down for transport just like every other Conrad model. That's main reasons why I like Conrad models, because each piece breaks down for transport like the real thing, or pretty much like the real thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and there's the rest of the counterweights for it, the tray. And this little, I don't know what you would call it. It's not really a walkway, but it clips on to one of the luffing masts. I'm not sure which one, but it just hangs off the side. It won't stay on, that's why I have it off, but it just like push fits into one of the sides like that, but it won't stay on, so I just leave it off. So that's pretty much it. And your exhaust comes out the back right there. It's kind of hard to see it. I'm sure they will come out with a lot of liveries with this model. I'm sure Mammut, however you say it, Sarens, maybe Neeb. There's another one. Can't think of the name. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of liveries with this model. It's really nice, but not worth $1,000. Like I said, maybe 8 or 9. I think I pretty much covered everything. Yep, I'm just going to stop it here. I have a lot of pictures of this on my Facebook page. The link is in the description. If you want to see detailed pictures of it, just go on there, click on the link, and go to the Superlift 3800 album. There's probably 200 pictures in there, I think. I will do a assembly stop motion, but I have no idea when I'll get to it. I have so many other models to do. I'm not even going to attempt to tell you a time or a date when I'm going to do it. So, and this will probably be the last model for the year, unless the link belt cranes from Tonkin come out, or the LTM 1400 luffing jib comes out. But those will probably come out around Christmas or something. So there's the review. I know it wasn't one of my best reviews, but I'm sure everybody's waiting to hear it. So thanks for watching.